Good afternoon, 100% here. This is Vijaya Kadiravan, working as Assistant Professor and Head in Department of Computer Applications, Commonwealth College, Salem 7 for the past 10 years. And I have 18 years of teaching experience, as Mr. Daniel pointed out. First of all, before going into this topic, I would like to invite all of you for this wonderful national level webinar on social media analytics organized by Loyola College Metala. And at this juncture, I would like to thank Dr. Daniel for having given me a very good opportunity for sharing my views and research experiences with you people on the topic social media analytics. And I would like to thank the management, the principal, and the superiors of Loyola College for giving permission to conduct this webinar. I think we shall go to the topic now. Let me go to the topic. The topic of the webinar today is social media analytics. It is one of the recent trends in data analytics, data mining, we can say, especially in business analytics. It is very, very important. So these are all the agenda of the program. A slight introduction about what is social media, how it is going on, what is the current scenario, what is the current state of art, what are the issues. Those things have been discussed in this introduction part. Then secondly, we have a discussion about what is the origin of social media analytics. I always talk to students, I always ask my students to study the origin of the subject. That only give you the thoroughness of any subject. So here also we are going to talk about the origin of what is social media analytics, when it started, and how it is proceeded, and what is the current scenario. Those things we are going to discuss in this. Then social network analysis. From this area, social network analysis, this social media analytics has been developed. It is only from 2012, the social network mining or social network analysis has been named as social media analytics due to the fantasy towards social media. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of social network analysis, and then we are going to discuss about the technique of social media analytics too. Then finally, we have a research direction for research scholars with conclusion. So this is my agenda. I always want the participants to be interactive. I'm expecting some kind of interaction from you. So we have to begin with, I would like to ask you with an interesting question. What are the current trend in IT? Which areas are very popular nowadays in IT industry or computer science? Please write your answers in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and answer. Participants, kindly respond.
Data science from Daniel Nesakumar.
Very good, Daniel.
AI, then machine learning, IoT.
Very good. Very good.
IoT,
very good.
IoT from so many persons.
IoT, very good.
IoT,
The participants
ML data science and data analytics from Devakumari ma'am. Then data analytics, then cloud, then cloud computing again, big data, then IoT, AI, then machine learning, deep learning, robotics, Java from Nisha.
She might be a student.
Yeah, I think yes.
Okay.
She'll be a student. Then Python, Joe Charles. Yeah, we come up with so many artificial intelligence, R, then programming languages like they generally provided. Then cloud computing, sentimental analysis. Yes.
Thank you very
So
much.
everyone is be aware of that. What is current trend in computer science and applications? I think so. Big data analytics, data science. I think the answers was repeated.
Yes. All of you, please see the slide. If you give an answer in the list, kindly appreciate yourself. Feel proud of you. So, when there is a survey by Edureka in the month November 2019, they saw the areas dominating in IT field nowadays. The first one is Internet of Things. The second one, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. The third one is augmented reality. The fourth one is social media analytics. That is the current topic of the webinar. So I think that Daniel done wonderful job for you, right? Then the fifth topic is DevOps. Sixth one is robotic process of automation, RPA. The last one is data science and data analytics also, right? So today also we are going to discuss about one of the current trend in computer science. It comes in the fourth position in the Edureka report. So it is very important for business intelligence. Now, there is another survey by Internet World Stat during the same year, 2019, that is last year. In that survey, they made a survey on the number of internet users in country-wise. Here, India comes in the second position. There are so many number of internet users in India available. So this is the main reason for the social media to become a research tool, and social media analytics also become a latest trend in computer science, right? One more interesting question, participants, please ready to respond. Can anybody guess what is the world population right now? Please give your figure in numbers.
Crores.
How many crores? Please mention the number.
133 crores. 130, 500.
I'm not asking for India, it is for the world.
600 crores.
Good.
500 crores.
Great.
So 800 crores, 7.8 million, around 7 billion, 800 crores,
Interesting.
450. Some of them are went with crores and million, billion, 800 crores.
Billion.
Yeah, 6
Billion is
billion.
correct. Billion is correct.
Near 6 billion or 800, I think so. Sharmila. Then 7.8
Okay.
near to 800 crores.
7.8 billion or
Went down.
million?
7.8 billion. 7.8
Exactly,
billion.
this is correct answer.
Exactly 7.
Who
Yes.
has given that answer? 7.8
Corona,
billion.
it decreases. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the participants who are very active and very enthusiastic in giving answers. Thank you very much. Now, let me tell the answer. The answer is 780 crore or 7.88 billion. It is according to the survey made by Internet World Stat during March 2020, right? So in that survey, the world population is 780 crore. In this, less than 59% of world population uses internet. That is around 459 crore. Out of this internet users, 91% of the people uses social media, especially the adults. That is also around 418 crore. So these are all the things which are making our social media to become a very popular and fantasized element in IT industry, right? Another interesting question, participants kindly respond it. How did you spend your time during this lockdown period? What is your hobby? What is your main hobby or main activity during this period? Please respond. Social media. Very good. That is the answer I expect. Very good. Great. Very much interested in social media. Very good. Dr. Daniel, you can read out the name of the participant also. Great. Very good. I really feel online classes. Some of you told social media. Yes. Without social media, can you live in this lockdown period at home? Can you think? Can you live without using social media? Can anybody available here? I'm not using social media even for 1 minute at home. Anybody is available? Please say yes. Kindly respond. Anybody is available? I'm not using social network at any time. Is there anybody available? Definitely not. No, really great. There are some research scholars who are always wanting of doing research and reading books. Really, I feel very great. These kind of people are all available in Loyola College. Thank you. But according to my general survey, without social media, the adults never live in this world. In that way, social media play a vital role in our day-to-day life, right? Without WhatsApp, without Facebook, without Twitter, without LinkedIn in USA, people cannot live, right? So social networking is the most popular online activity regularly by adult users. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter are the first, third, and 10th most trafficked elements or sites according to a survey. In that, WhatsApp produces around 400 billions of data every day. Twitter produces 300 billions of data every day. Facebook utilizes around the highest one, that is 700 billions of data every day. So that is the current real scenario of social media, right? In internet world, it dominates. You see a diagram in circle. There is a pie chart, no? In that pie chart, that social network dominates. That pie chart discusses about how much time people spend for a particular activity, whether a social network or games or email or something like that. They made a survey. In that survey also, the result is high for social networks. People are always in social network when they enter into internet. So by seeing all these surveys and all these researchers and all the studies, we can come to a conclusion that social media is like our atma, without which we cannot live, isn't it? So as per the addiction by the adult users for social media, we can divide the users into 4 categories. The first one is a virgin. The second one is a ultra. The third one is a dipper. And the fourth one is a denier. A virgin is a user who is very active. Without social media, he could not live. He loves social media, right? An ultra is a user who is an average user. He is an optimal user and he is a correct user, right? And there is some user called a dipper. He is a rare user. Rarely he come to social media and used it. Then the final one is a denier. He is having an account in social media, but he never used it. The account is always in passive mode. Sometimes he make it as active and he enter and he finished his work and he again make it as passive and went off. That's the thing done by that denial. So these are the 4 kinds of users based upon their addiction in social media categorized. Please think whether you belongs to which category and try to control yourself. Now let me come to the conclusion with the definition of social media. What is the social media? Social media is a broader spectrum of social network data in the form of likes, shares, opinions, links, text, images, audio, video, etc. that has an opportunity to create even more impact and differentiation in the companies and politics, government, and other analytical applications. So that is the main purpose of having a social media. You know, we are talking about social media, we think that only Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter is called a social media. No, it is definitely incorrect. There are several other things. They are also called as social media. Social media is a media through which we are interacting with people, making relationship with people. So how we are establishing a communication and making relationship with people is called social media. So we have to talk about this in a general perspective. So here, the face-to-face communication is also a social media. Then letters, then telegrams, telephones, radio, newspapers, televisions, pages, SMS, chat messengers, email, mobile, blogs, mass medias, social network websites finally comes. And IoT devices also play some role in social media communications. In future, some other things also may come based upon spatial, temporal, some other things also may come. So what is social media analytics? The measurement of interpersonal connection between 2 or more people or a group in a social network, and the analysis of the content shared between them in a social media is called social media analytics. So it is a measure of our interpersonal skill. Okay. So how we are making relations with people is measured here. Right? Relationship with people is not so easy. It is very difficult. Even I can tell you a story. It's a kind of lolly story, right? Once there was a very beautiful girl, Lolly. I'm going to talk about the girl's story. There was a rich man. He wanted to celebrate his birthday. He went to a mental hospital and wanted to celebrate his birthday. He wanted to distribute sweets and clothes to each and every patient. He first entered into the first room and he wanted to distribute the sweet and cloths. He looked for the patient. The patient is not available. Then he looks in everywhere inside the room. The patient is hanging from the fan in an inverted manner and he is shouting lolly, lolly, lolly like that. Really, they wondered. He asked the doctor whether he is loving that girl like that. He is asking. The doctor replied, yes, he loves a wonderful, beautiful girl called Lolly. And after that, his love became failure. So he became mental. Like that, he replied. Then they consoled the person. They make him to come down and they distribute the sweets and cloths. And he went to the next room. In the next room also there is a mental patient who is also shouting lolly, lolly, lolly like that. At this time he really wondered, this person is also affected by that girl due to love like that. He is asking the doctor. The doctor said, he is the person married that girl. Like that he replied. So relationship with people is not so easy. Especially relationship with girls is very difficult. To understand what is inside their mind is very difficult, isn't it? I think people are laughing out of the story. Now let me go to the importance of what is social media analytics. This technique of social research recognizes that human beings have choices, opinions based upon their attraction and repulsion. It's a kind of force. Whenever we look at people, for some people we get attracted. For some people we don't like. There is a repulsive kind of force. We don't like them. Okay, it was automatically generated. So due to that, a relationship has been established. It is an inbuilt activity or automatic activity. And we can measure it using this social media analytics. It is not only between people, it is about a news or it is about a particular product. In a company, we may like a product or we may hate a product. We may be writing an opinion in the social media and posting it. It also can be analyzed. We may like a particular politician. We may not like some politician. So we may post some memes, and that also can be mimed, analyzed, and we can get the intelligence, isn't it? So these are all the things possible in social media analytics. They are very useful for business, government, and other analytical applications. The choices may be positive or negative, not only defines our social relationships values, but also the degree of relationship, goodwill, our views, our opinions. And it is a measurement of social relationship first, and then it is used to extract the public opinion about a particular product or particular person or anything. A film, it may be anything. So studying the structure of a group, measuring the status of each individual, and analyzing the meaningful social data from social media for analysis and giving an intelligence, social intelligence, is our main objective. What is the scope and motivation for aim for social media analytics? Our scope is more social media data generated by personal influence in social network and through transmission by mass media. So that is the scope. We have huge number of data available before us. So we have to make it fruitfully for the benefit of the society or business or anything. So for that purpose, we are doing research on this. Motivation. Analyzing the underlying mechanisms for the real-time spread of information through online networks gives an insight or overview or an analytical intelligence to many applications. The aim is the consumer-generated, non-edited, noisy, and non-authenticated social media data, that what we obtained from social media, to be converted into an actionable intelligence, social intelligence. So that is the target we have in our mind in social media analytics. And what are the other open problems occurred, other research problems occurred in social media? These are the things. The standardized problems like incompleteness, incorrectness, inconsistency, and data transformation. As it is a huge data, we have to transform the data into our server, and the data size is very huge. We have to make a visualization tool for visualizing data in millions and billions. That is impossible. Right now, analyzing for I think 1 lakh number of data is available. A huge analysis is not possible. Huge visualization tools are not available. Then fuzzy boundaries, that is the network size. Whenever we are talking about social network, somebody will come and go. Men may come and men may go, isn't it? So the network structure, the network size, and the topology will change. Sometimes some people are there, they will left. So it is a random graph, and it is dynamically changed. The size also increased and decreased. So these kind of things are the challenges that we have in social media analytics, isn't it? Then big data issues also comes here as issues. There are the 5 U's: volume, variety, velocity, veracity, validity. That also comes as issue here. Yes, we are going to the next component, the origin of social media analytics. Before going into this topic, we have an interesting question. Participants, please respond in chat box, or you can unmute your mic and answer. Can you guess the year at which the basic idea of social media analytics is originated?
2010.
Okay. Okay.
2000.
I'm talking about the basic idea. Only the name
Early
is converted,
2000s.
but the same idea is available with some other name in earlier period itself. Please guess the year at
2013.
which the core idea, the first idea.
1980s.
1980s.
2014. 2000. 1999.
Nice.
Internet analytics.
Very interesting that people are responding. Great.
Then
Please respond.
2003.
2003, right?
So obviously 2004. 1991.
Okay.
I guess not before 90s.
Princey Sagaira, right? Very good.
Yes, and 1997, 2012, 1997. Yep.
Great. Great response from the participants. I appreciate all of you individually for your responses. Now we will see the answer. Actually, this social media analytics comes in 1930s itself. 1930s itself in sociology, right? Its origin is in sociology. Then psychology people are used to analyze the relationship existing between people. The social network analysis tools are used. Then anthropology, it is a study of human and human relationship. So in that also people are using social network analysis. Initially, it was with the name sociometrum. In sociology, they are giving the name sociometrum. Then it was renamed as sociometry. Then it was converted as social network analysis, right? Then in physics and mathematics, they are applying graph theory for analyzing some components. In IT, in the year 2000, it was entered, right? There was a man called Broder et al. Who analyzes a web graph, and he releases the idea of sociometrics. So the name is converted as sociometrics in IT. And later it was converted as social network mining. As we are very much interested in data mining, the name is converted as social network mining. Then I think starting from 2012, the social network mining becomes social media analytics. As nowadays the current trend is data analytics. So people are changing the name social media analytics for fantasy. So this is the milestones we have to cross across for studying about social media analytics. So the name is coined from sociometrum. As I said, it is a Latin word. Socio means social or relationship. Metrum means measurement. Sociometrum means social measurement or relationship measurement. So it is nothing but relationship measurement, right? There is no other tool available for measuring the relationship. This is the only tool available for measuring the relationship. So in 1931, the sociologist George Simmel and Emil Durkheim wrote about patterns of relationship that connect social actors using social network. This is the starting point. And later in 1935, Jacob Moreno and Helen Jennings introduced the basic analytical methods. Okay, so up to that, it is in theories only. Now it is converted as method. In 1954, it is a very tremendous research by John Arundel Barnes. He started using the term social network analysis systematically to indicate ties, whether weak tie or strong tie between two people. Then scholars such as Brodeur, Portabogo, Ronald Burt, Kathleen Carley, Mark Granovetter, David Crackhart, Edward Lumen, Anatole Rapoport, Barry Wellman. He's a famous man, Barry Wellman. Released a lot of papers. Then Douglas White, Harrison White, they expanded the use of systematic social network analysis in IT field or computer science, right? This is the travel history of social analytics or social media analytics. Somebody says social analytics also. So these are all the terminology change that occurred from 1931 to 2012 or till date, we can say, till date. In the year 1931, it was called a sociometrum. Then 35, sociometry. Then 54, social network analysis. Then it was called as link mining, graph mining. Then it becomes web community mining in the year 2003 by Kumar et al. Graph mining is a paper by Brodeur et al. Link mining is a paper by Git's algorithm, Heinsberg. Then it becomes social network mining in the year 2005. Then social intelligence by some people. Then social media analytics in the year 2012. Somebody also called us social analytics. Both are one and the same, right? Now we have an interesting question. Participants, please get ready. Can you find any difference among your students in the first year, beginning and end? That is before admission and during third year, we can say. Right? In the first year, how they will be. Then after some, at the first year,
there is no difference.
No difference.
Yes, we can find.
That is a flaw in the educational system.
Yes,
I think
yes,
so.
yes. Yes, age, knowledge from Mary.
Here we are talking about with respect to relationship. Relationship, please respond with respect to relationship.
Yes.
Yes. Yes means what? What?
There's a lot of difference. So everyone find the difference, but they may not able to say that what kind of difference is. Maybe many difference in this pandemic. Yes, we find it out to there more mature accent. Then there is no difference, communication difference. From school, they are fully matured, attached to them, no difference.
Subramaniam. Serlim Bosco.
Yes, change in relationship with parents and classmates and staff.
Very good, Serlim Bosco. I think close to the answer. Can anybody try? Somebody coming close to the answer.
In first year, we are all single. Final year, they are committed. Maturity level increased.
Right.
They become more social. Devakumari ma'am.
So initially, the students are isolated. Then later on, they establish relationship one by one. Then at the final year, they will become like a hero, no? During the final years, all students will become like a hero. We could not control them, isn't it? All tied together like a strongly connected component, isn't it? So that is the thing we are going to discuss now, how the things are formed, how that connectivity is established. That is the thing we are going to discuss now. So this is bow tie theory. It was given by Brodeur et al. In the year 2000. This is the origin of IT, origin of social network in IT field, right? So he made a survey of around 144 million web pages. He took 144 million web pages and he made a study and analysis of how a web page is linked with another web page. Link means hyperlink. Okay, all web pages. If you see the entire World Wide Web, all web pages are connected together, isn't it? through hyperlinks. So he made a survey and he identified and find and released a theory called bow tie theory. This bow tie structure is derived from the gens tie. Yeah. Some of the gens are using a tie. It is like a ribbon-like structure. With at the central part we have a tie, and there is a left side and right side available. So the central part structure is called as strongly connected component. Around 56 million web pages comes at the center. They are tightly connected. So it is described as strongly connected components. It is in the form of the graph theory component, strongly connected component. And around 44 million pages lies in the in. In means they are having a link towards strongly connected component. And around another 44 million pages comes in the out portion. That is, the strongly connected components are having hyperlinks on these pages. And these in links and out in pages and out pages also get connected using tubes. Please see here, tubes. They are called as tubes. And there are some isolated nodes also available. Some pages are isolated and they are called as disconnected component. Some tendrils also available. Tendrils. They are just connected with an unimportant page. The strongly connected components are said to be the important pages or hub pages, we can say, right? And if more links are pointed to a page, it is called as authority page. Important page. It is also important. Hub pages and authority pages are some important concepts in this link mining. Link mine, right? Then mining in WebGraph. Broder et al., after making the survey, he released a paper, and that paper says, when mining in WebGraph, we can find three kinds of relationship. One is citation, another one is co-citation, and one more is bibliometric coupling. What is citation means? If page A has a hyperlink towards page B, then we can say that one has citation relationship. Then co-citation. In co-citation, page A and page B are pointed by n number of web pages, similar web pages. So that is co-citation. Then bibliometric coupling. In bibliometric coupling, the reverse case of co-citation, page A and page B references same number of web pages. Similar web pages are referenced, so it belongs to the same community, right? So these are all the kind of relationships analyzed by Broder et al. In his paper during 2000. The paper title is Mining in WebGraph, right? He modeled the entire web. When he modeled the entire web, the web pages are imagined as node. The hyperlinks are imagined as edges between the node. So he is getting a very huge web graph. Entire www is converted as a very huge web graph containing vertices and edges connected. If it is having hyperlink, it is connected. No hyperlink means not connected. So in that structure only these patterns are extracted: citation, co-citation, and bibliometric coupling. And he also derived with some new terminologies. Sociometrics finds patterns in social networks. Bibliometric finds patterns in citation graphs of web article. Collaborative filtering finds patterns in rank graphs. Webometrics finds patterns in web page links. Like that he concluded. He introduced the terminology sociometrics using social network. So let me discuss what is web community mining. Initially, we are talking about web graph. After web graph, there is a discussion about web community. These are all the origins from which social media comes. So what is a web graph means? It is nothing but a subgraph of web graph having grouping up of web pages of similar interest, implicitly or explicitly. For example, Tamil community, Tamil web community. All Tamil web pages can get connected together and it forms a Tamil web community. Suppose when Google is searching Tamil, it can search only that community and easier retrieval can be possible, isn't it? So people of similar interest can combine together and forming as a web community. All web pages are connected as communities. So if you see the entire www, there are several web communities available. It may be a biology community, physics community, chemistry community, Tamil community, Malayalam community, like that. There are several communities available. Using this community algorithm only, Google gives you the correct result, exact result with relevancy, quality, precision, etc. We call etc. Isn't it? Easier retrieval is possible. The indexing method is also simple. So this web community is the next concept that uses links, web structure mining. It is otherwise called as web structure mining. The hyperlinks are mined and we are getting some information. The hidden information is extracted. We all know what is data mining. Data mining means extracting the hidden information to be visible. So extracting the hidden, tacit, valuable, meaningful information from large, huge historical data store is data mining. But community mining is also hidden. They are extracted, isn't it? So there are several methods available for web community. The first one is bow tie theory that also can be used for web community. The strongly connected component pointed out by bow tie theory is a community. Then strongly connected component is specially used by several people for undergoing web community mining research. Then biconnected component is also used. If a node is having only two links, it can get connected closely. That is the theory behind the biconnected component. Then bipartite graph comes into picture. In bipartite graph, please see the picture number Roman letter 1. In that picture, you can see P and Q as two sets, isn't it? So there are two sets P and Q. They represent web pages, collection of web pages. If all the web pages in set P are connected to set Q, then we can call it as it is a bipartite graph. It is a complete graph, completely connected graph. That is what bipartite graph is. So in the web graph, if you think the entire WW as a graph, you can see lot of bipartite graphs. Each bipartite graph represents a community. Okay, Tamil community, or it may be something like sports community, business community, share market community, like that. It may be different based upon the domain or any other attribute you can say, right? Then density bipartite graph. It is derived from bipartite graph. In bipartite graph, we said all nodes should get connected to all other nodes in the next level set. But in density bipartite graph, they say if all nodes in the first set connected with at least three links, then it becomes dense bipartite graph. It is otherwise called as CLIG. Then min-cut max flow algorithm. Then rank graph, hub authority graph, session interest based graph, social network graph. These are all the things available for web community mining. Audience, please kindly respond. There is a question for you. Can you guess how does Google search engine work? Which concept is used in Google search engine? Audience, kindly respond. We are frequently using Google search engine every day. We are talking about social media and
Page ranking.
Yes, very good, very good. Page ranking. It is a ranking algorithm used by Google search engine, but right now it is not used. Indexing, very good, Malini.
Indexing.
Crawling.
Could you
Crawling.
please repeat? Oh, very good.
Crawling.
Crawling. Am I right? CRAWL, crawling, right? Good,
Yes.
good.
Using
Crawlers are used.
algorithms, quality of content.
Quality of content, right? Any of you are very much interested in Google search engine. It's really great. Excellent answer. And Antony algorithm. What is that? What is it?
Ant colony algorithm.
Ant colony. Right. Very good. Ant
Relevance
colony
of web pages.
relevancy, right? You know something about relevancy. Very good. At least some of the terminologies, you know, I would like to appreciate that. Any other answer? Based on
Queries. Mining.
mining. Very good.
Keyword
Mining is
matches with
correct.
documentation. Indexing ranking. Keywords.
Keywords. Many participants know very well about the architecture of Google, I think. Great. I'm very
Assumption.
happy with that. Some sense.
Crawling, indexing, ranking, keywords.
So, I think he is talking about everything. Sarmila. Right. Now let me explain the Google's hypertextual architecture that uses community mining. Community mining is very important for executing a search engine. Even Google is using this. So this is the entire architecture of Google. It's a suppose we have a web server containing some web pages, means how it takes, we will see. So this web server is your web server. You have some 100 number of pages in this. So the Google crawler, web crawler comes. Web crawler is a component which is used to download your file into its directory, its repository, its storage. So it may uses either depth first search or breadth first search. It is simply a depth first algorithm or breadth first algorithm. It uses graph structure. It downloads the first root node, then it downloads the next level node, then it downloads the second level node. Like if it is going like that, it is breadth first search. You know what is breadth first and depth first? So yeah, web crawler is a robot, software robot, which travels on the web either in breadth first or depth first manner, or vertical or horizontal manner, and it downloads using a protocol FTP or HTTP, and it transfer the page from that another end to its own end. So all the pages from the web server are transferred to web repository. Then each web pages are taken by the indexer. Indexer here. The indexer is of two types, power indexer and inverse indexer. And it will tokenize all the words available in the web page. Then the tokens are pre-processed. And finally, it will dump the URLs into URL server. Then the important indexes into index server. It removes top word. You know what are the NLP activities in indexing? There are so many activities, NLP, natural language processing activities done here for pre-processing. Stop word removal, morphological analysis, like so many things are there. So it will semantically analyze and it will dump the important words into index server, the hyperlinks into link server. So if one page contains 100 hyperlinks, again that hyperlinks in link server is sent to URL server. So when it's sent a hyperlink, it is divided as community, web community, using bipartite graph algorithm. We just now see what is bipartite graph, isn't it? So using that bipartite graph, with the help of hyperlingual pattern available in web pages, it will identify the web communities, and in community wise, it will put the link here in link server. It will divide, categorizes and cluster. Then the clustered URL is dumped into the link server. The output of a search engine is nothing but collection of links. Am I right? You are giving an index. So this is our client interface. When the client gives a domain name, that is, it may be operating system. Is in Google, you enter and you are giving a domain name here. It passes into the client interface and it reaches the link server, and it will give the result as collection of links. Collection of links are given as result. It was sorted and ranked, and then it was given as result. So this is the way Google hypertextual architecture is working, that uses bipartite graph algorithm for clustering the web pages for easy retrieval and reducing the retrieval time. Yes, we are coming to the social network mining part. This is the father of social media analytics, we can say, and this contains the basic idea and core concepts of social media analytics, without which social media analytics is not possible. So what is a social network? A social network contains set of nodes to describe actors and set of connections between the nodes to describe the relationship between them. In a literature, it was given as a set of individual actors, it may be people or organization, connected through social relationships in the form of social network graph, in which the vertices or nodes represent the actors, and the link between the two nodes or edges represent the transfer of information or communication or relationship, maybe friendship, acquaintance, or any relative. A social network graph is otherwise called as sociogram. So sociogram is used to represent a social network. A sociogram is a social network instrument which diagrammatically indicate the formation and changes of a group. Sociograms are used to collect data regarding social relationship within a group. It's a graph drawing or representation containing nodes representing actors and edges that represents the relationship, which plots the structure of interpersonal communication and social link in a group. Sociogram is termed as a map of interpersonal relationship and interpersonal lines of communication between actors in a graph or group. Let me ask you another question. Participants, please get ready. I'm expecting more answers from the participants. Please respond. Because when these kind of webinars are going on, some people just can't get connected with Google Meet or Zoom, and they kept it in somewhere else, and they go out to somewhere else. They go to kitchen and prepare a coffee, and they will drink without listening it. So if you respond, you are listening. If you do not respond, it means that you're doing some kitchen work or some other work, isn't it? So please kindly respond for the questions. The question is, can you quantify how much a person likes or hates you? Can you quantify how much a person likes or hates you? You are seeing a diagram in which Ganesh is one employee, Radha is another employee in an organization. Ganesh wants to know how much Radha likes Ganesh. Likes or hates Ganesh. He wanted to identify without talking. Is there any possibility available for identifying whether a person likes or hates you? Is there any possibility available? Please respond. Participants, kindly respond. Feedback link. Very good. Which algorithm? Person's mentality. Can we measure the person's mentality? That is the question here. Can you measure the mentality of a person, whether he likes or hates you? Graph theory. Yes. Bolan, your answer is correct. Using graph theory, we can identify how much a person likes or hates you. Is what our social network is. So we'll see here. Here there are 5 friends available. You just imagine. These are 5 friends. 0, the person 0 calls 3 times person 1. Right? The same 0 calls person 4 times. And 4 and 1 communicates for 7 times. 4 and 3 communicates for 2 times. And 3 and 2 communicates for 8 times. 1 and 3 communicate for 6 times. 1 and 2 communicate for 5 times. So here, which tie is very stronger? Can you say? Can anybody say which tie is very stronger? The person who communicated with 8 communications, that is 2 and 3, they are every day communicating for 8 times. So they are having a stronger relationship. It may be mobile communication or email communication or direct communication, or it may be a social media communication. It may be whatever, it may be anything. But how many times they communicated each day, that decides the kind of or strength of the relationship. Even they may fight, but it is also showing the strength of love or strength of affection towards them, isn't it? So this is the one kind of representation of social network graph. Here edges are represented with weight. The weight may be binary value or a numeric value. You can see the vertices and edges connected together in social network like this. So what is social network mining? Now we'll see. Social network mining applies data mining techniques to a social network for identifying social behavior from structures and properties. Example, it is mainly used for user classification. Users are classified, and it is used for business intelligence. Then link prediction. You know, in Facebook, some of the friend links are recommended, isn't it? So recommended links are clicked by you and you are making friendship with them. So it recommends friendship link based upon social network mining, who are all closer to you. Is analyzed using social network analysis. Then only Facebook recommended you those people. Also, it recommends you the friend's birthday. It analyzes the tie strength. If your tie is very strong, it thinks that he is your strong friend and it recommends you his birthday. Sometimes it will create a video clip and give it to you for posting to your friend. So these kind of things are possible using social network mining. Then community clustering. The communities can be clustered. Then influence propagation. Influence is nothing but it is a measure of the power in a group. So in a group, you are very active, or you are a silent person, or how much power you have, how you influence people, how much powerful you are, that can be identified. You know, for product promotion, people always use some actors. You know, if they are using Kamal Hassan or Rajinikanth for their product promotion, it will reach many people. So that kind of influence measurement can be measured using social network analysis, right? Even in politics, the politicians always make their campaigns using some prominent people. They may be very good speakers or very good actors are very popular personalities. Using those people, they will make campaign about their parties because it will reach people. People believe them. So these kind of things are possible using social network mining. And graph theory also plays a crucial role because it is used to extract the structural properties. We are going to see several properties in the next slides. Then SNM aims to understand the network structure by description, visualization, and modeling. They are all the main components of SNM. So here we already explained a graph may be represented using either binary or valued, directed or undirected. Directed means it is single directional, and directed means it is bidirectional. So this is a simple example for a binary undirected in the left side and a valued directed graph in the right side. Please see this example. Here there are five friends A, B, C, D, E. They are connected with A, B, C, D, E. It was represented using adjacency matrix. Every graph is represented using adjacency matrix as the base. So here, if A likes B, we give 1. If A don't like somebody, then we left blank. You take it as 0. You may also think it as 0. The blank spaces are zeros, right? All the self nodes are infinitives. There is no need to consider about that. These are all the self nodes. Don't consider about that. Here A likes B, so 1. Then B also likes A. C likes B and D and E. B also likes C. D likes C and E. E likes C and D. So that can be identified. The kind of relationship can be identified using binary values. Here, if you talk about valued directed graph, here A communicated with B 6 times per day. B communicated with A 5 times per day, right? B communicated with C 2 times per day. C communicated with E 4 times. D communicated with C 8 times. D communicated with E 9 times. E communicated with C 3 times, right? So here you can see a kind of implicit hidden pattern you can realize. Who are all very closer, who are all very weak in their tie, if we can identify, isn't it? If A calls B 6 times, B also calls for 5 times, their tie is very stronger because reciprocity is existing. Excuse me. When a person communicates with another person, the another person has to call him the same number of times. Suppose I am calling to my friend 5 times. My friend is not calling me even a single time, means it is not friendship. It is they are not having any relationship at all, isn't it? So that also tells some implicit meaning. That is what here, right? So we can identify the amount of love, or we can quantify love using this adjacency matrix and analyzing the sociometric parameters. We'll see. Excuse me, it is hanging. Please wait. So here, for social network representation, these are all the following data structures used. Adjacency matrix is the basic thing, always used to represent a graph. You might be studied in graph data structures. Adjacency list and arc lists are another kind of data structures which are used to represent a social network graph. So the same thing is represented here using adjacency list. If A connected to B, what are all the components connected to B is here, A and C. What are all the components connected to C? B, D, E. What are all the components connected to D? They are C and E. The components connected to E are C and D. Arc list means A connected to B, then B connected to A. Only one element is represented here, right? The same thing, the similar thing is represented using 3 different data structures. You can see here, please refer here later. Then there are 3 types of social networks available. When we are analyzing social network, we can use either ego-centered network or whole network or mixed mode network. In ego-centered network, we are focusing on a particular person, right? Suppose I want to calculate the influence factor of Siva Karthikeyan. So I will focus on that particular person. Suppose I have a doubt on a particular person, whether he is doing a cyber crime, right? So I am focusing on a particular person. So at that time we call it as ego-centered network. Whole network means analyzing the entire thing. For example, nowadays COVID-19 is spread over India. It is spread to all over the states. We are very much affected by the coronavirus, right? I can analyze using social network how it has been spread from one person to another, when it will reach us a particular location, who is the root cause for spreading the disease from China to India, who are all the people lies in the border or bridge position, who are the cause for, who are the culprit of spreading this disease. I can identify. If I have a whole network means I have in India 130 crore people are there. If there is a very good electronic governance, e-governance system containing all the details of the citizens available, I can analyze. If I have the travel history of the citizens, definitely I can find out who is the origin or who is the culprit who spreads coronavirus first to India. That can be identified. Or who is the person first introduced coronavirus in Tamil Nadu can be identified. Or who is the person first spread the coronavirus in your college can be identified. Anything can be identified if I have the whole network, right? So whole network means it is very bigger in size. It is practically very difficult. We need a very high capacity server with high computation speed, and we need a visualization tool for analyzing such a big group. So these things are needed. It is practically very difficult but possible, right? Then one more data and 2 more data are the categories available. It represents edges based on direct contact between actors. 2 more data means it represents the duality between people connected to people through joint membership in a group. Here time and topology always play a crucial role in social network, because based upon the time, the number of actors and number of participants will vary, and the structure, the geographical structure or the structural part also will vary. So that decides the output of social network analysis. It affects the output. For example, here I am getting 4 outputs in figure A, B, C, D. They are having similar structure. Only the topology is different. All are having the similar structure. The connectivity, number of links, number of in degree, out degree, if you calculate density, everything is similar in these 4 graphs. But the topology is different. This type of graph is called as isomorphic graph. One more interesting question to participants. I already asked you. Is there any possibility to find out the person who spread COVID-19 in a particular region? Yes, it is possible. I tell the answer. I asked the question already. Is it possible? Can you realize? Is it possible? Please reply yes or no. Yes, Malini, Anu, Sila, Panchali, Rench,
So many, yes.
yes, yes. That is the success of this webinar. We believe that social network mining can do wonders. Even it can identify the coronavirus outbreak, how it has been outbreak to various countries. That also can be identified because we are having a social network. You know why we are in lockdown? Why we are in lockdown? Can anybody say? Why people always insisted us to stay at home, don't go out? What is the reason? Why people ask you to isolate yourself, to break the chain? Because we are all in social network. Through social network, it will spread. We are spreading the data, that is the coronavirus. This coronavirus kills everybody, isn't it? We are spreading that data from one person to another person through this social network. Social network plays a vital role here. Through the social network, coronavirus spread very fastly. It is the biggest research in social network analysis. Coronavirus, how coronavirus outbreak from one region to another region, isn't it? So through social network analysis, we can find out. See here, this is one example, social network visualization using NIDRA tool. There are a lot of tools available. This NIDRA tool produces result like that. Using this tool here, one concept has been explained: bridging and bonding. What is the difference between bridging and bonding? You just imagine the blue color regions are Indian people. The red color regions are China people, the actors of China. You know, here can we identify who spread from China to India the coronavirus? Can we identify? Please look at the diagram in the screen. Isn't it? There are some people who are lying in the bridges. I will read out the numbers. Number 32, number 31, and number 10 of India. They are the culprits. They are directly connected to China. So here you can see two communities. One is the India community, which is in blue color, and another one is the China community, which is in red color, red alert area, isn't it? Some people in India directly getting connected to people in China. Who are all the people? Can you identify using this social network analysis? Yes, definitely we can identify. So number 32, number 31, and number 10 are the culprits who directly connected to Chinese people. So these are all the culprits who spread the coronavirus. We can identify using the bridge. Bridge is a role played vitally by people who are the cause for a problem, or cause for a disease, or cause for many issues, right? Then bonding. Let me explain what is bonding. Here, if coronavirus reaches the actor number 1, actor number 3, actor number 34, actor number 33, how it would spread? It spread very fastly. Why? Why? Can you guess why? Because they are at the central position, isn't it? Please look at the diagram. Number 1, number 34, number 33. If they are affected by corona, they are at the central position. They are closely connected to all the participants in the community. So they spread the disease very fastly. But if they are isolated, if we keep 33 and 34 isolated, then what will happen? What will happen? It won't spread, isn't it? So that is the reason why people always insist us to isolate yourself. Could you understand? So directly or indirectly, I hope you understand what is social network. What is the power of social network? Isn't it? It spread not only the information, it also passed coronavirus. Now let me explain the measurement attributes of social network analysis. It is called as sociometrics, right? So degree, size, density, frequency, role, tie, in degree, out degree, closeness, betweenness, centrality, reciprocity, path length, reachability, clustering coefficient, prestige, eigenvector, click, distance. It is nothing but the shortest path from one node to another node. Dyad, relationship between two people. Triad, relationship between three people, Simalian time. Then embeddedness, cohesion, group, subgroup, structural equivalence, structural whole. These last attributes like structural equivalence and structural whole are used in organization when a particular crisis is happening. Even in coronavirus spread, we can identify. Structural whole means the connectivity will become disconnected. Structural equivalence means all participants are equally connected and equally distributed their communication. Okay, if there is any problem, structural equivalence is a good status. Structural whole is always in problematic condition. So in companies, people identify the employees' relationship using structural whole. Here, the definition for all the attributes have been given. It may be very useful for the research scholars. Can I read all the definitions or can I skip? You can read it. So density, the proportion of direct ties in a network relative to the total number possible. Okay. Then the distance, the minimum number of ties required to connect two particular actors. Right? That is distance. Size, the total number of nodes in a network. Frequency, how often the participants made communication. Prestige, it is also deciding the power of a personality. Prestige, seek to quantify an individual's test prominence within a network by summarizing the structural relations among the nodes. So whether they are in central position, that can be identified using prestige. And role, social role depends upon the social position of the actor and the relationship to other. There are 5 types: isolated, dyad, triad, liaison, and bridge. These liaison and bridge are the culprits to spread the coronavirus. Then strength of the relationship, whether it is a strong tie or weak tie, that can be measurement of love. I told you, no, that can be identified using this strong tie and weak tie. Simalian tie, a triangular relationship among 3 nodes. Sometimes people, person A likes person B, but person B do not like person A. He likes person C. Person C also do not like person B. He likes person A. Like that, some kind of very typical relationship exists in social network. That kind of thing is called a Simalian tie. That can be identified for some particular problems and is used. And tie strength, defined by the linear combination of time, emotional intensity, intimacy, and reciprocity. It is otherwise called as mutuality. Then strong ties are associated with homophily, propinquity, and transitivity. The homophily is explained here. Homophily, the extent to which actors form ties with similar versus dissimilar others. Some people always like people belonging to their community, their region, and their gender. And that is what homophily, propinquity. The tendency for actors to have more ties with geographically close others. In your college or in your organization, you can see some people, if they belong to your native place, you may like them most, isn't it? So that is what propinquity is. People belonging to the same region connected closely together, isn't it? Then transitivity or network closure, a measure of the completeness of relational triads. Then multiplexity, the number of content forms contained in a tie. Whenever we are talking about this, is the multiplexity is the one which plays a vital role in social media analytics. We are discussing about the graph mining. In this graph mining, every element is having some content over it. I have a Facebook account. In my account, I am having my profile and I have several opinions. I posted several posts and I am sharing my views on politics, on films, on some products, business products, and I'm sharing so many things, isn't it? And I'm sharing my views on educational aspect, and I'm sharing so many things. For some people, I accept my friendship. For some people, I may reject their links. So I am having my own choice and opinion for choosing my friends and posting my opinion and telling my views. That is the content form contained along with social network component. That is taken and that is mined. Using text mining or using sentimental analysis or using opinion mining, machine learning, artificial intelligence, like anti-colony algorithm, what you have said. You can use any algorithm and you can mine the textual content available in social network, and you can identify some intelligence, and that only helps for social media analytics. The mutuality and reciprocity, the extent to which two actors reciprocate each other is reciprocity. I told you already, isn't it? Degree. Total number of incoming links is in degree. Total number of outgoing links is out degree, isn't it? Sometimes I may like a person, that person may not like me. If I like a person, it is in degree. If some other people like me, that is out degree, isn't it? Sorry, reverse case. If some other people like me, that is in degree. If I like some other person, that is out degree, right? Then geo distance, it is the shortest path from a vertex to other. Path length, an estimate of the potential paths connecting pairs of nodes. Then reachability, if there exists any set of connections by which we can trace from the source to the target actor. Then structural goals, the absence of ties between two parts of a network. Absence of ties. So some relationship has been cut due to some problem. Then structural equivalence, if they are connected in the same ways to structurally related points. This structural equivalence is very good. It will increase the social capital of a group. Social capital refers to the value one can get from their social ties, value of social relations, and the role of cooperation and confidence to achieve positive outcomes. Groups are identified as cliques if every individual is directly tied to every other individual using n nodes and vertices. Clique is a maximal complete subgraph which is identified using bipartite graph. Subgroup, grouping of actors that are closer to one another than they are to other groups. Clustering coefficient, it is a measure of the likelihood that two associates of a node are associates. Embeddedness, it is a multi-dimensional construct relating generally to the importance of social network for an action. Cohesion, cohesion means speed, how speed they are reacting or responding, the speed of response. The degree to which the actors are connected directly to each other by cohesive bonds. The structural cohesion refers to the minimum number of members who, if removed from a group, would disconnect the group. Now we have another question. Can I assess leadership quality of a person using social network? Please give your answers in yes or no. Participants, please respond. Can I assess leadership qualities of a person using social network? Yes, very good. Tanga Selvi. Kalek Selvi Chandrahasan saying yes. That is correct. Princey Sahara saying no. Ranjan saying no. Meena, yes. Yamini saying yes. Anagavalli saying yes. Many people are saying yes. I think only 2 people are saying no. I don't know why they are saying no. Whether we would understand the concept or not, I don't know. Queensland feedback. So using centrality attribute in social network analysis, we can identify the leadership quality of a particular person in a social network. Because we are in a social network only. You may belong to a company, or you may belong to a government, or you may belong to a department. Wherever you go, you have to play your role as a leader or a team member. So this can be identified and analyzed and measured using centrality parameter. Here, centrality refers to a group of metrics that aim to quantify the importance of a particular node within a network. Here, 4 types of centrality available: degree centrality, betweenness centrality, closeness centrality. Finally, we have eigenvector centrality. In degree centrality is defined as the number of links incident upon a node. Betweenness centrality quantifies the number of times a node acts as a bridge along the shortest path between the 2 other nodes. Closeness centrality is a measure of how long it will take to spread information to all other nodes sequentially. For all these attributes, we have formula. Using that formula, you can measure. Eigenvector centrality is a measure of the influence as a relative score to all nodes in the network, based on the concept that connections to high scoring nodes contribute more than low scoring nodes. Right? So we have completed social network analysis, and for social network analysis, there are some tools available. You can see these tools. UCINet is a prevalent tool. It was developed in the year 1959 itself by Barghouti of Analytical Technologies. It's a very good tool, nice tool. Even for my completion of PhD, I used this tool, UCINet. It is very good, giving all the attribute results in a better manner. In Pajak, Agni, Agna, Nedra, Inflow, Netminer, Netminer 2 version, StockNet. StockNet supports, I think, 1 lakh number of nodes at a stretch can be visually analyzed. It supports a very high sized network. In Multinet, SNMFU, social network mining functional utility, the NetWays. Nowadays, when people are doing social network visualization, they are not using these tools. They are using IPython programming and R programming. Those programming languages are having a library, special library for social network. So you can incorporate that libraries and you can write your own code. So that is the current trend now. You can write your own code using Python or R. Especially IPython using Anaconda is very famous. So those who are doing research, please use either Python or R. Let me come to the webinar topic, that is social media analytics. There are some interesting questions for you. If you have answers for any questions, you can give answers. Can you know how does Facebook recommend you friendship links or your friend's birthday? How does Flipkart product unpurchased in your cart often come in Google and Facebook? Sometimes you may select a product in Flipkart that you left unpurchased. But that product's advertisements comes in your Facebook link and a Google link. How is it possible? Then how does a mime that you send through WhatsApp comes back to you again by another friend? How does a particular collection of same type of email frequently comes to you? Why political mimes and advertisements are available more in social media? Why that is targeted? Why social media is targeted for sending mimes? How a fan club or netizen group is formed? You know, when Big Boss programs are held, these kind of things, netizen club, fan clubs are opened more. And there is some opinion sharing and sentiment sharing and what mind sharing about the Big Boss participants. No, these things are happening. So how that fan club and netizen groups are formed? Can anyone answer? I request the participants to respond. Yes, Sarmila, you are giving the correct answer. Vijay is giving cookies as the answer. That is also correct. And somehow cookie mining is there. Using cookie mining also we can identify what are the user interests we can identify. Is there any other intelligent answer? I'm expecting more intelligent answers from you. Is there any other answer? It's okay. So for the questions which we have seen in the previous slide, the answer is social media analytics. That's all. So using social media analytics, we can do all the things that we have seen in the previous slide. What is social media analytics? It is concerned with the developing and evaluating informatics tools and frameworks to collect, monitor, analyze, summarize, and visualize social media data to facilitate conversations and interactions to extract useful patterns and intelligence. The definition for social media: a social structure made of nodes which are generally individuals or organizations that are tied by one or more specific types of interdependency, such as values, visions, idea, financial exchange. These are all the main things we have to focus in social media analytics. In social network analysis, we are talking about the graph theory, how the nodes are connected by edges, and we are talking about the relationship. But here in social media, along with the graph, what is the vision the participant is having? What is the value he is having? What is the opinion he is having? Whether he likes or dislikes a particular one. So what is the general opinion? That is very important. And who are all his friends? Those things plays a vital role in social media analytics. So social media talks about the attachments of the actors who are participating in the social network, or the content which is available in the social network. When we are mining in the content of social network, then that is called as social media analytics. When we are mining the social network graph itself, it is called social network mining. That is the thin layer difference between social network mining and social media mining. Media mining is also a terminology existing. It is media analytics is also correct, right? Then social media analytics, a diagnostic method for collecting and analyzing social media data and the patterns of relationship among people in groups, and a systematic approach to make the invisible flows within an organization to be visible. There are 4 levels of analytics available: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. In descriptive, we are analyzing what is happening. That is, we are taking the past data and analyzing it, and that is what is happening. For example, I want to analyze about the sale of Arun ice cream. So I have to collect information, past information about my sales data of Arun ice cream, and the result is descriptive. Diagnostic: why is it happening? Suppose a new ice cream brand has been entering. Another 2 new brand in ice cream has been entering, means I want to analyze why this new ice cream brand has come as competitor for us. So that is diagnostic. And predictive: what is likely to happen? I am already having Arun ice cream, right? There are another 2 brands coming in the industry now. So my sales will get affected. So how much sales will get affected in future because of the entry of 2 new brands, isn't it? And that is what predictive analytics is. Then prescriptive analytics: what is the best course of action that I can do? So when I have a company. If two new brands of same type entering, it will affect my sales. So I have some problem, isn't it? So to identify the problem, what is the problem I have to identify and what is the change I have to make? That I have to decide. And that is what prescriptive analytics. So whenever we are talking about analytics, these four kind of things comes into picture: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. We have to decide in which pattern we are interested. We have to do all the things. So talking about social analytic techniques, it is not a separate dominating technique. It uses all other techniques in data mining for its extraction, for its mining. Without other techniques, it won't work. It is not an independent technique. It is a dependent technique, right? So data mine, in some cases for user classification, community clustering, data mining is used. Text mining is also used. The user profiles are mined using text mining. Then web mining is somehow used. Information retrieval and extraction is also used in some cases. The community and social network mining is used. NLP, semantic web and ontology used. And opinion mining and sentimental analysis. Please underline this. Please underline this. This is the main technique used to extract the emotion, feeling, opinion, and sentiment of a particular participant or actor in social media analytics. This is very, very helpful. Opinion mining and sentimental analysis is the deciding factor of social analytic technique. Then artificial intelligence and machine learning can also be used. Topic detection and trend analysis are used. Social network modeling and visualization may be used. Temporal and spatial mining can also be used in future. Big data analytics and cloud are the architectures in which this social media analytics is possible. So stages of social media analytics. It gather the data from the architecture is very simple. Just capture the data, understand the data, and present in a better way for visualization. Gather data from various sources, pre-process the data, extract pertinent information from the data, remove noisy data, perform advanced analytics, opinion mining and sentiment analysis, topic modeling, social network analysis, trend analysis. These are all the important techniques for social media analytics. Then summarize and evaluate the finding from stage 2 and present the finding. These are all the steps or stages in social media analytics. The same thing represented in a different manner using this diagram. When we want to find out when there is a problem, we want to identify the reason for the problem. The problem is defined first. Then we are locating the data resources. In the previous thing also we told the same thing: capture, understand, and present. First we are capturing the data by locating the data sources. So for that we are crawling and searching the data sources. We are creating a data model for visualization. We are running the analytical tools. Either you can choose a tool or you can write your own code. Then we are interpreting the result for analysis. We are developing an insight. So that will give the decision-making idea. If it is not sufficient, again, the things are repeated. So this is the architecture of social media analytics. It is a big data architecture. So if you using any big data Hadoop or something like that, you can build a social media analytics architecture. All the components in big data will comes in social media analytics also. Whenever we are talking about social media metrics, vanity, it is divided into two types: vanity metrics and actionable metrics. Vanity metrics are useless matrices. They are not useful. But sometimes it is not giving a prominent result. Actionable metrics are the metrics which are very useful, right? For vanity metrics, the examples are number of followers and number of likes. Actionable metrics, for actionable metrics, example is traffic, conversations, leads generated, number of clicks. These are all some of the Facebook metrics: content, receptivity, traffic sources, engagement, PTAT. PTAT means people talking about this. Please see at the bottom, number of unique users who have created a story about a page in a 7-day period is called PTAT. So that is engagement. Likes, demographics. Demography means personal information, your personal information. It may be gender or your profession, something like that. YouTube metrics, the views, subscribers, shares, discovery, playback locations, traffic, demographics. Google metrics, visitors, content, traffic, time on site, referral sources, are some of the metrics. For social media analytics, we have separate tools. For social network, we have separate tools. Social media, we have separate tools. All companies, major players like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, IBM, Instagram are having their own tool for analyzing their own content. If you want to analyze something, some of your Facebook pages, you can analyze using Facebook Analytics. If you have a blog account in Google, you can analyze using Google Analytics, or any website can be analyzed using Google Analytics. YouTube is having its own tool called YouTube Insight. Twitter Analytics is a tool developed for Twitter pages. Instagram Insight is a tool for Instagram pages. And IBM is also entering into this field, and it is releasing a wonderful tool called Watson Analytics. It was awarded 4 years back. It uses social intelligence. In Radian 5, it's not an open source. Lithium, ShortStack, Shield App, BrandWatch, LinkedIn Page Analytics. For LinkedIn, the LinkedIn company itself releases a tool called LinkedIn Page Analytics. And Pinterest is also one of the biggest company. Pinterest Insight, Hootsuite Analytics, Sprout Social, Avario, Tap Influence, BuzzSumo, Snaplytics, Curate, Keyhole, Talkwalker. These are all some of the tools that I have written. There are several tools available, a number of tools available. Now let me come to the final part of the session, the research directions. Can anyone say a few applications of social media analytics? Please guess. Participants, please respond for this question. Please write it in your chat box, or you can unmute your mic and you can talk. Initially, all the participants are very interactive. Now I don't know why you are very silent. Please be interactive so that even I could not sleep. Facebook by Tanga Mohan Raja, Kanagavalli Segar, Chelvi, Flipkart, Kanagavalli Segar, informatics session, Amazon, right? Bolan, Instagram, Evangeline, Sabrina, Twitter, YouTube. Kanagavalli Segar is very active. Kanagavalli Segar is very active participant. Very good. Keep it up.
Telegram.
And Mohan Raj Sinnasamy gives Facebook. Suresh Babu Kupusamy LinkedIn. Madan Mohan Subramaniam is also a very active participant, giving answers to all the questions. Malini, Facebook, Amazon, very big answer. Malini, very good. Alan Zillian, advertisement in social media. Yes, that is the main application for which this idea has been invented. Twitter, online shopping. Jay Bharati, online shopping. Very good, very good. I'm glad that people are giving very interesting answers, very excellent answers. Google Analytics. Okay, now let me discuss some of my views on research in social media mining. Community analysis, sentiment analysis and opinion mining, social recommendation, influence modeling, information diffusion and provenance, then privacy, security and trust, user classification, link prediction, community clustering, influence propagation. These are the main issues as far as myself is concerned. And there are some other papers that refers these things also. Marketing, e-commerce, some application-oriented researches also you can focus. Terrorist and crime identification, medical network analysis, knowledge management, virtual learning, politics and election campaign, research community, academic social networking, online game analysis, and much more. And some of the business applications are mining the behaviors and opinions of millions of users in social media, give insights into human behavioral analysis, personalized recommendations, marketing analytics and viral marketing, product review and sentimental analysis. Many of the papers are discussing about this product review and sentimental analysis. Reputation management and brand creation, consumer brand analytics. They are making our goodwill to be very good, for that. Brand analytics is a separate area that focuses on reputation management and citizen response, crime detection, real-time citizens journalism. And some of the business applications as far as research by social media cookbook is concerned. They said most of the business researchers are focusing on customer or community insight. Around 84% of the people are interested in looking for customer or community insight. And for decision making, 51% people, 51% companies are using. For their investment decisions, 35% of the companies are using. For financial impacts, 32% it is helpful. For organizational development, 26% it is helpful. So mainly it is useful for identifying the customer insight and decision making. 84 and 51% in business. Then some of the recent issues in degree centrality. The applications are who is most listened to on Twitter, who has most contacts within a company, which users reviews influence others the most. Then closeness, with respect to closeness centrality, is this person central to the group? Is your message likely to reach the audience? These are all the possible research issues. Betweenness centrality is used for applications such as someone who has a high betweenness centrality is often a broker between others. What happens if this person leaves the network? And structural goals are used to identify the gaps in linkage between groups. This is mainly used in organization or government when there is an issue or problem or a crisis. Applications, bridges across this access information from both suggesting influence and understanding of an organization. Can we create a bridge? Is there an opportunity to control or influence communications between groups? Degree of centralization. Is the network held together by just a few nodes, or is it more cohesive? Measures include average and variance of degree centrality. The applications are crime network, whether the crime is vulnerable to disruption. What happens to a company if a few key people leave? Then structural equivalence. It finds nodes with similar roles in the network. It is a good sign of the company execution. Then cluster analysis. It identifies the groups of nodes which are closely connected and characterize them. And it identifies the most influential people for political campaign or for product promotion they may using. Predicting node types, then profiling subnetworks, then identifying central nodes, communities that spread disease in a network, analyzing doctor to patient relationship in telemedicine, most influential node in healthcare, DNA sequence analysis and similarity in social network, analyzing personalized medicine using microarray in a healthcare network group, then email-based social media analytics, mobile-based social media analytics, blog opinion-based social media analytics, ranking using social media, profile mining, opinion mining, NLP-based SMA, data structure for social media analytics, deep mining and deep learning in social media, knowledge management and social media analytics, social intelligence in social media analytics, network intelligence in social media analytics, human intelligence in social media analytics, Facebook-based social media analytics, meta synthesis of ubiquitous intelligence, political social media analytics, academic social network analysis, then business professionals social media analytics, terrorist capturing in social media analytics, MLM and social media analytics in self-help group, social media analytics for CRM, crisis monitoring using social media analytics, performance appraisal and leadership assessment, social media analytics based web crawler, search engine to identify a person in social media, modeling a social media analytics, visualization of big social media analytics. So these are all the research scope available in social media analytics. I am writing only a few. You can identify more. So the conclusion is this research in social network analysis or social media analytics has a significant history. It starts from sociology and travels via psychology, anthropology, epidemiology. Then it crosses across physical and mathematical sciences like physics, mathematics, and statistics. Then in the late 1990s, it was entering into computer science as a theory. Then due to the information explosion between the year 2001 to 2010, it was this area has grown with more tools and applications, and it captured data about the interactions. Then in the year between 2011 to 2020, with the invention of data science and big data analytics, business analytics, and social media analytics, this area is becoming very popular in these years 2011 to 2020. In 2021 onwards, we may integrate this social media analytics with IoT, live social media analytics, and things like temporal mining and spatial mining can also be integrated, and real-time random graph mining and dynamic network or the future research works can be possible. So with that, I would like to conclude. These are all the references I made. I would like to thank you one and all available here for your patient and silent listening with enthusiasm. Thank you very much.
So participants can ask your questions through chat box. Participants.
Thank you, Sarlin.